Happy good morning. Jim here. I wanted to say, hey, welcome for being with me today. Today we're going to talk about a very interesting animal now, or fish, or whatever we would like to call it. I did a search just saying, give me an animal that's interesting and funny. So you'll be the judge. I really feel it hits the interesting side, but I want to make sure it hits the funny side. Okay. One of the most fascinating animals in the world is what they call the Axoloti, often referred to as the Mexican walking fish, though it's not a fish, but an amphibian. Native to the lakes around Mexico City, such as Lake Yacahueco, they are renowned for their unique appearance. I think we would definitely agree with that, right? They also have extraordinary abilities and critical conservation status. So, in other words, they're cool, but we got to be careful about making sure we keep them on this earth. And that's the way we all would like to be. Physical characteristics. They retain their larval features throughout their lives, a condition called neoteny. They are feathery gills that fan out from the side of their heads, giving them a striking and alien-like look. I would agree with that. Now, their colors, they come in various colors, so you just say you order whichever you want, I guess, including wild types, dark with specks, leucistic, pale pink with red gills, I guess that's what we're looking at, albino, and golden. That's interesting. They also have extraordinary abilities. Regeneration. Axolotus can regenerate entire limbs, spinal cords, hearts, and even parts of their brains without scarring. Wow. We have learned in reference to our medicine in the world or here, so many trade-offs in the sense that we see an animal can do something, and it certainly would be wonderful that if we lost an arm, we could regrow an arm. And I think you see the benefit of that. So, and we have learned a lot of things from animals as to things that they do that we would love to do or have the capability of doing. So hopefully they're kind of figuring out how this is definitely possible, where they can even literally replace parts of their brain. I mean, hey, I would love to grow my brain, right? And be smarter than I am. Or play the lottery and I know the numbers in advance. What do you think? Anyway, this ability has made them a subject of extensive scientific research. There we go. Breathing. They breathe through both gills and lungs, and they can absorb oxygen through their skin, making them incredibly adaptable in water environments. I mean, the neat thing is you have backup systems. We breathe through our mouth, we can breathe through our nose, but other than that, you don't have either of those two, you're in trouble, right? So anyway, they're incredibly adaptable in water environments. Their behavior. They are carnivorous, feeding on small fish, worms, and aquatic insects. They are solitary creatures but are not aggressive, making them popular in the exotic pet trade. Oh boy. I'd never like to see that type of thing. I wouldn't want to get one of these or some of them and put them in a fish tank. That's not fair. Anyway, axolotus are credibly endangered in the wild due to the habitat destruction, pollution, and invasive species. However, they thrive in captivity, and that's a good news, which provides hope for their conservation. I mean, you know, they're so small, and you know, it's like let's make sure we have a whole bunch of these. You know, I'm a generator guy, and I remember, and we would set up generators for different things, other than just somebody saying I'm old and I want air conditioning in my home. A lot of times, I would put generators in for folks that had fish tanks. One in particular, he had a whole room full of exotic type fish. And also, he grew coral. Now, what would happen if in the event he lost power and he didn't have the means of putting air into the water and keeping a pretty much constant temperature, especially he would lose coral that he's growing and some of the fish. So I had some really interesting challenges, I guess you might say, in the generator business. I loved it. It was something wonderful to do every day. Every day was different. It just got where, and they'd say, well, if it's so good, Jim, why aren't you still doing it? Well, unfortunately, I'm 75, and in Florida, especially since 2014, the summers, every summer's warmer than the summer before. So I get to a point with my age that I couldn't keep working in this heat. And you can't be a generator guy that when you have customers that you're taking care of their generators, you can't say, well, I don't come out in the summer. So unfortunately, there's things where you'd say, I loved what I do, but now I've got to do something different. So now you're saying, well, what are you doing? YouTube is one of them. So anyway, getting back to the topic, in Aztec mythology, the Axoloti was associated with the god Axoloti, who transformed into this creature to evade sacrifice. I hope that's true. Anyway, scientists study this animal extensively, of this mammal, to understand their regenerative powers, hoping to apply these findings to human medicine. Now, again, as I said, which is probably a no-no, but I don't read the text in advance. I know that I mess up most of the what we would call scientific names, but it's like I like to, as I'm talking about it, saying, wow, this would be a good idea if they did this. And then you go down and they go, scientifically, because of their regenerative powers, we actually study them. So, I mean, I think that's cool. Works for me. Anyway, the Axoloti is a captivating blend of myth, biology, and ecological concern, making it one of the most remarkable animals in the world. Anyway, so there we go. I hope you find that particular animal interesting today. And he or she appreciate you being here as I do. So, anyway, thank you again. Like and subscribe. I know everybody says that, but really it does help. And thank you again. Have a wonderful day. See you in the next one. Okay, bye.